What are some tips for people just starting out on the keto diet? So we have 10 of these.
Yeah,
We have 10 tips.
10 hot tips.
So my top tip is be aware of FOMO, fear of missing out, because FOMO can throw you into a spiral. Just recognize that you are removing carbohydrates, processed carbohydrates from your diet, that carbs are going to come from leafy greens, from Brussels sprouts, from cabbage, from dairy. You're getting rid of those whole grains, processed grains, beans, legumes, all of that. So just be aware that your brain is going to start going, oh, but I can't have that. I want it.
So just be like, I'm on the lookout for my new favorites. You're going to say goodbye to some of your old favorites for a little while, not forever. And you're on the hunt for new favorite things. So
yes.
I'm looking for new things that I can enjoy. So I'm going to try a lot of different things if I'm just going on keto.
So one of the things we discovered was artisanal cheeses.
Yeah, like really good Havarti or like real Italian Parmesan and other things like that. Just like aged cheddars.
Yeah, so start the search for your new delicious foods you can eat and really embrace the things you get to eat on keto that are generally a no-no on other ways of eating, other diets.
All right, tip 2. Get rid of the tempting carb junk food that's in your house. It's probably not going to, if you're going to do keto for a while, it's probably not going to be by its sell-by date or its use-by date the next time you get around to it anyway, so why keep it in the house? And take it to a food pantry.
Yeah.
Give it to a hungry kid. Just get rid of it if it's just been on your shelf for too long already. So get rid of the things that you feel like are going to tempt you, and then stock your fridge with, stock your fridge with your very first favorite keto food, and that will be your crash plan, right? Have lots of that on hand for the first time you feel like you're going to go off of keto.
Yes, because it's much better to have a pint of keto-friendly ice cream instead of eat the ice cream that you shouldn't have in your freezer. And there's a number of keto-friendly ice creams out on the market now. Or make your own and store that in the freezer.
Hi, Linda. We'll get to your question after we get through our pre-planned list of questions, but I will answer that.
So number 3 is if you cheat or fail, don't give up. So don't throw in the towel. Failure is a part of achieving the goal. It's how we learn. It's how we grow. We started keto almost 3 years ago now, and we've had tons of failures. We've slipped up, we've cheated, we've traveled and got caught into that FOMO. We've done things incorrectly. But the difference between someone who fails and stops, sorry, I forgot to mute our computer. Someone who stops and just fails and goes back and ends up with bad, worse health, and someone who's successful, the only difference is the person who's successful did not quit. So think about reframing how you think about failure and embracing those failures. And number 4 is kind of tied in with this. So when you do cheat, when you do fail, because we know what's going to happen, don't do a deep dive into the carb train. Don't wait weeks to get back on track.
Yeah.
Don't tell yourself, oh, well, I did this already, so I may as well just go buy I ate a bag of Doritos, so maybe I better go buy the Cheetos and the ice cream and the Little Debbies and go into this carb sugar, I don't know what to call it, but just, it's like you dive into
Don't binge. Don't binge.
Don't binge. That's the word I was looking for.
So number 5 is be prepared for carb withdrawal, aka the keto flu. There's a lot of ways to avoid this altogether. It takes a little bit of preparation and patience with yourself. Mostly it's around making sure that you're getting enough supplemental energy, I would say. So I would actually, if I was just starting over for the very first time, I would go ahead and go buy some exogenous ketones and some electrolytes. And I would have those on hand, and I would start supplementing with those slowly as I was going through this, that I had an energy source on hand that my body could use. because I'm going to strip away the carbohydrate fuel source, and my body's not quite ready to start making its own ketones, and so I want to supplement with something that's going to give me some energy in the meantime.
On a temporary basis.
Right, in the meantime.
Yeah. All right, so along with that, so what he's talking about, there's a lot to learn. So one of our tips is to really educate yourself. Find experts on the keto diet and look for people who are continuing their education. Not experts who've just lost weight and now they're teaching about it. Those people are great. I love that they share their stories, but look for people who are going to conferences, listening to podcasts, and doing deep dives into improving health. So some of our favorite online medical doctors would be like Dr. Ken Berry. He does a great job of educating, breaking things down. So there's one that you can go and check things out from him. And then number 7.
I've made this mistake. Don't start an aggressive exercise program if you're not already on one. And in fact, if you're new to going into ketosis and you're already on an aggressive exercise program, back it up a little bit, because you are going to feel that that lack of energy more pronounced than other people. So don't think that, oh, I'm going to do this whole health thing. I'm going to change everything about myself all at once. I'm going to go into ketosis. I'm going to start this really rigorous workout program. I'm going to get my hair cut and colored, and I'm changing jobs. Like, that is a recipe for disaster. You're going to struggle mightily with that. So we recommend one thing at a time. Get into ketosis. Start a light workout program, like go on long walks. Start just moving more. And then once you're like, oh man, I feel so much better. My joints feel better. My back feels better. Then think about, how do I take that to the next level? Do I join a gym? Do I find a coach? Do I find a trainer? And then eventually you're going to get there, but you've got to baby step it. Otherwise, you just run a risk of hurting yourself. In fact, there was a study done a long time ago about when do athletes hurt themselves? And it's not necessarily if they don't stretch, or if they do something different, or if they do a specific thing. They find that athletes tend to hurt themselves when they change their routine really quickly. So you're getting out of your routine, and it's an easy way to hurt yourself because you're doing something you're not used to. I would say that applies to this as well, right?
Absolutely.
It's just a great way to injure yourself if you dive deeply into a new program right away. Now, if that's just who you are and you don't want to take the advice, go for it.
You do you.
You will learn.
Yeah. He did. He learned the hard way.
I've learned.
All right. So number 8, get the 30-day keto planner. You guys asked for this thing in print, and it's available in print now. You can find it. There's a link below in this description. It's wholebodyliving.com/planner. This is everything I wish I had when I very first started keto. It's full of food lists, meal plans, how to do goal setting, a little bit about our story just to inspire you on the journey. There's just so many resources inside of that, so check it out. Because having these resources and these checklists, keto food lists, things to avoid, just understanding that and having that in print right in front of you, that's very valuable. So check that out. And then I've also developed a 7-day keto challenge. And that is it's for new people, but it's also for people who've been on and off keto, and for people who want to take keto to the next level. We really focus on mindset. I mentioned failure earlier in this segment, and that is a huge, huge component of why we are more successful today than when we started, because we think about failure differently, and I help train you on how to change that.
Doing keto right or sustainably is important, but the more important thing for any successful diet is how you think about it, how you overcome challenges, how you tackle failure. You can be doing any diet and have great success, or it be a total failure just based on how you think about it.
Yeah. And number 10,
get an accountability partner. That's why when Tara started and I started 30 days later, our weight loss kind of skyrocketed, right? We had each other. We were cooking the same foods, eating the same foods, but we had somebody who was going through the same struggles. And when we verbalized what we were going to do, then it created some social accountability, even if it is just between husband and wife. If you don't have that, then our online group, Whole Keto, is a great way to get some accountability for yourself if you need it.
Yep, and links are below in the description. So that wraps up our 10 tips for someone just getting started on keto or maybe who's struggling with keto.